Fuck William. Getting out of the way.
Yeah, that's a pretty appropriate thing to start the show off with.
A little shit this into in a single episode.
Yeah, he's in the Sad Cisco camp.
Well, he's kind of been this character for a while. We just haven't had to deal with him.
Yeah, we've been having...
This feels like his worst. Like, he calls the fucking grandparents and is like, I just wanted it for attention. And the grandparents are like, oh no, we're really here for custody. And Oliver's like, you fucking idiot.
Well, I really think what he's doing is he's ascending to his true form, and he just needs to feed off as many negative emotions as he possibly can before the wings sprout from his back and the tentacles blow out of his face.
I thought you were saying so that he can feed on those his grandparents.
Right. No,
like Deborah Logan.
I think they're tulpas. I don't think they're real. I think he just created them to cause Ollie to produce all these negative emotions so he can feed.
Is Tommy like Raven's dad? Who the fuck is that guy? Trigon?
Yes.
That's it. That's the headcanon from now on. William's the host body for Trigon.
Yep.
Yes.
So is that how they're tying this into Titans?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, Christ, anything else would be wacky.
It's gonna be great.
Imagine if they did try to tie it into Titans now. It would be so confusing based off of everything.
Can you imagine that Robin hanging around Oliver Queen and Barry, and like the first time Robin caves a man's head in with his shoe, like Barry just starts vomiting?
Oh God! As I think am I the only one that's actually watched all Titans?
No.
On here, well, I mean on here right now.
Oh yeah.
I've seen it. Okay. And I watched the entire that climax in that
first episode.
The last episode.
Oh, in the last episode. Okay.
Yeah, that thing that people are mad about.
Yeah.
That I watched and I was like, this is not even that good.
Are you talking about the stinger or something that happens in the episode?
Something that happens in the episode.
Oh, I haven't even bothered that much.
The stinger is awesome, but like
the stinger's
stuff
great.
Yeah, what happens in the episode is like only annoying in that it's like a. Does it matter if I spoil it?
I mean, not for me. So.
Not for me.
All right. So Nightwing is being manipulated by Trigon, I believe.
Yes.
And basically lives a nightmare where Bruce goes off the deep end. And like when I picture Bruce going off the deep end, I kind of anticipate him targeting a very select group of people. In this, he just if it's got a pulse and it's near him, he fucking kills it.
Basically, Joker kills Gordon, and Batman goes like off the fucking rails, and just he throws Joker off of a roof, and then goes into the hospital room and murders him.
Goes to Arkham and kills everyone at Arkham, and then kills some cops, and then Dick leads a team back to the Batcave to apprehend him, and he kills all of those cops too, and then he kills Starfire.
Oh wow!
But in this alternate thing, Starfire isn't Starfire. Dick is living in California or something with Dove, and they have a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why it's like when it starts off, you're just like, oh, this is like definitely like obviously like a nightmare situation.
And I know Jason Todd shows up and he's in a wheelchair.
That's how it starts. I actually kind of like how they play Jason Todd in his episode because they play him as a total douche, which is what he should be as Robin.
Yeah, they play him as Jason Todd then. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And their Hawk and Dove portrayal, those episodes are great.
So wait, in this universe, he will end up in the future becoming possessed by the Joker. That's what that means. At some point. Yeah. Okay. That's
so, hey everybody, this is our Arrow Talk for this week. I'm Connor McGraw. Who else is here?
Arlen Haro, signing on.
Erik Fedorchak.
And Lou Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And no Hunter, because Hunter's asleep.
No Hunter. No tall boy.
Or at least parts of him are asleep. The blood hasn't quite fallen out of the rest of his body yet.
He falls asleep limb by limb?
Yes. Yes. He's like a really old computer shutting down. It's each part.
Well, he has to enter a bathroom.
What is he, an ent?
We have heard him fall asleep on the show before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he's an Ent, then you need to go visit him, Connor. You can get some Ent trout from him.
Right. Wait, what is that?
Ent trout? It's the stuff that made the hobbits taller. Remember when Merry and Pippin are in the forest with
was that in the movie?
Oh.
Because
Yeah, that was in the movie and in the books. Yeah,
I don't remember this at all.
You could be
if you want to
completely
do-
making this up, and I wouldn't know.
I just want to invoke Piccolo and just yell "nerd" because that is like the nerdiest thing I've ever heard.
yeah. Maybe it was in the director's cut of the Two Towers, but yeah, there isn't it Two Towers.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It has to be in director's good because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it must be.
there's a point where they're hanging out and they're drinking. They don't specifically say like, "Oh, that's Ent trout," like, but yeah, they both start drinking from this supply of water, and like Pippin burps and grows a couple inches, and then Merry drinks some and burps and grows a couple inches, and yeah, they end up being the tallest hobbits that ever existed in Hobbiton.
Well, that plays into the end of that old Rankin and Bass cartoon.
Yep. Which they never explained any of that because they only adapted the Return of the King, and poorly at that.
Yeah, but the songs are baller.
Oh yeah,
Frodo of the Nine Fingers.
Mm-hmm. And where there's a whip, there's a way.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I don't know either. I was going to throw in a joke about Tolkien, but like
real quick before we get back on topic, like when I first booted up Shadow of War, and like Shelob was this ravishing black-haired human. I'm like, I don't think I remember Shelob correctly.
No, as far as I know, that's completely made up.
Yeah, she is really, really like stupidly hot for a video game character kind of human form that is there, and you never see her turn into a spider.
What?
It's a projection, I guess. Well, no, you see her turn. You see the spider create the projection, which is like okay, like.
So you don't get to fight a giant spider in that game.
Okay, the spider fights you. You don't really fight the spider, and then she's like, I sense potential in you, and then she creates the projection so that she can talk to you.
Dumb.
And then she's like cool ring of power and takes it.
I've got to go to my Tumblr account and write a 30-page diatribe.
I mean, she is a kind of a Tumblr girl, just based off her personality.
Her anyway, so non-canon it hurts. Anyway, so Arrow's great.
Yeah. Continues to be.
That's everybody. Show's over.
That's it. Yep, we're done. But
this
is
the most consecutive seasons any of these shows have been great. This is what 3?
So. Well, aside from the mini Civil War that they tried to do, this is the strongest run in a row that they've done.
As bad as Flash has ever been, Flash has never made me scream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, saying the mini Civil War episodes, that just reminds me of Curtis and
Dinah and fucking Wild Dog, like
in the van,
costume in minivan, going shit. They saw us.
How did they find us?
Which that actually reminds me.
Maybe it's the big fucking T you're wearing your face with the windshield that's unobscured.
Like maybe it's the fact that you were like friends a week ago and.
Oh God.
He looks like steps out of the car and just puts his arms out. Like, what are you doing?
There were a couple episodes there where the writers didn't know what to do. They knew how they wanted the season to end, but they had no idea what to do in the middle.
Yeah, they had like, all right, we need to get to where they fight each other as a team, but how do we get there?
Yeah.
But you actually reminded me, like, why is Wild Dog wearing his like shitty proto outfit now?
Yeah, I know.
What happened to his good outfit?
I think his other outfit was seized by the FBI. I think that's what it is.
That makes sense.
It's next to Falcon's wings and Captain Shield.
Yeah, but nobody else's was like at all.
Well, Dinah isn't wearing hers. John
has his. He shows up with it though.
Yeah.
I think he just has it. I don't think. Well, because remember, Renee had to testify still.
I know what happened. I know what happened to it. The Chimera took it.
That's right. That's the other thing I'm getting out of his suit. Like he takes a lot of stuff. I think that's supposed to be Renee's helmet, or at least.
Mask.
Well, no, he took when they fight him, he takes the mask, but it's that cheap, shitty hockey mask, not like the better one that he has during the Civil War.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I don't know what happened.
The Civil War thing, he has like a better chest piece. Like he's back wearing a hockey jersey and a goalie mask.
I think that's just what he has. I think part of his deal for immunity was he had to give up that suit. And getting another one from Oliver is kind of hard at this point. So
True or nay, like, one of that crew who's not like set up with some sweet fucking gig somewhere. He's in some crappy apartment. They took his suit,
except in the future.
Yeah.
And actually, his apartment is pretty goddamn gigantic.
It is.
Watching these episodes, I was like, because you only ever saw like one room when Curtis would come in to just make.
It's not even a loft, but it's like the size of a loft, just the living room.
Only you could bring it there. Only you.
No, but the apartment, quote unquote, it's like the size of a floor of a building. Like it's
like the apartments from Friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they have apartments like that here, but those are houses. Those are converted houses.
Well, Oliver's is like that too. It's like a giant loft, except it's also a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
That was Barry's. What the fuck? Why does everybody have lofts?
Because it's the easiest. It's the easiest thing to like. It's the Friends thing. It's like, oh, we need like a huge space so we can fit all these cameras in it, and for them to like move around. But we also need them to have bedrooms.
Right. Also, lofts look a lot like movie sets and sound stages. So like, you don't have to do a lot to make it look like an apartment.
There's just nothing here. You can put everything right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just gotta add windows, basically.
At least in Arrow, there's like the new apartment for Oliver and Felicity is like seems smaller. The older one that was actually, what was her name? I forget his sister's name now.
Thea.
Thea, yeah.
Her old apartment with the brick was ginormous. It was 2 levels. They had a staircase in the middle of it.
Unfortunately, Ollie's new living situation came with a William.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, so we know what Felicity can pull on her own now, because before that was her salary and presumably Oliver's mayor's salary, but this is just all Felicity. We're meant to assume this is real talk, fictional.
Well, and just
House Hunter superheroes.
Quick thing before I forget, when we get to the episode, when they're going to the spooky, scary house that they're saying, like, it's an abandoned house. Like, the interior of that house was beautiful, and there is no reason for it to have been an abandoned house. Like, one of them could move in there and live very comfortably.
Can I just say, when they went into that house, my first thought was like, oh no, they're all minorities. Who's going to get killed?
Right. How are they going to surround this house that has probably been used in Supernatural?
They attacked the one who checked too many boxes.
Yeah, they attacked like the. Oh god! It was. I always thought it was like because like what's his name makes the joke. He's like, why are we splitting up? Haven't anybody? I'm like, oh no, they're gonna make the black guy. I'm like, wait, there's 2 black guys. Wait, there's a Spanish guy and there's like a half black woman. I'm like, there's no white people to survive here.
No.
They're all dead.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yes.
So I guess we can start with episode 10? 11? Okay.
Episode 10.
Yeah, I don't know if we really need to go like super deep into each individual episode.
No.
But this episode's about Emiko, really. Like, it's her episode. Yeah. It's titled "My Name is Emiko Queen." So
I like what they've done. Like, Emiko is one of my favorite comic book characters of the last like several years. I like how they've like fixed her origins to make it fit in this world, right. And I like what this actress is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I just wish they didn't get a guy who is 3 times her size to be the new Green Arrow in the first few episodes. Because I'm like she shows up again. I'm like, that's a totally different person.
Yeah. But they did a bunch of weird stuff. Because in the horror movie thing, my wife thought the killer was a woman because the zoom in on the eyelashes. She's like, oh, that's definitely beautiful women's eyelashes. And I was like, okay, maybe.
Huh.
Well, I think they're just actors. And they
very, very soft eyes. We also learned that Oliver's dad is kind of a piece of shit.
Well, both of his parents cheated and had bastards.
Yeah.
So they're kind of even. It was also
family tradition.
Yeah, but it was also more that like his dad didn't take care of her, and then when he died and his mom found out, she like super didn't take care, like just like left her out to die.
Oh, she Jon Snowed her.
Yes.
Moira went super like fucking heel during the period of time where she was just like helping Malcolm, try to destroy the city and all that, fun stuff.
What happened to her husband, who was the guy who got laser sliced?
He died.
Did
he die?
No, he died in season 1.
Did Walter die? I can't remember.
Yeah, Walter got killed by Malcolm.
That's right.
Because he found the boat. He found the Queen's Gambit in a warehouse.
I remember that, actually. That's like one of my only solid season 1 memories.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, he only has
she moved on super fast, too, because that was what, like, they've been married for a while.
Someone was like, I'm so sorry for your husband. She's like, yeah, whatever.
Hey,
she died like 22 episodes later.
She was like, he was great for tax season, but really nothing else.
I'm sure the only thing that happened else that's interesting in this first episode is the setup to restarting the Suicide Squad, which then plays.
Yeah. You can't call it that. Lawyers are coming.
Oh yeah,
right.
What did they call it? Because they don't even call it Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
Ghost Squad, which straight out of Call of Duty Ghosts.
I was gonna say Ghost Recon.
I mean, it sounds like any 2008 Xbox 360 launch game.
It does.
Yeah.
It does sound silly as fuck though, and the fact that they you can use the Suicide Squad in concept, premise, and execution.
Yeah.
But you can't call it the Suicide Squad.
Right. You can go right up to saying Suicide Squad, but you can't actually say
you can't even call it Task Force X.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Like, the best they'd be able to do is be like, you guys all died. Sounds like some sort of Suicide Squad. And then a lawyer flying tackles them from offstage.
A briefcase comes in off screen.
Exactly.
Knocks someone right in the eye.
It's like, don't get me wrong. Like, DC has done a good job, or CW has done a good job with these shows, I think, for the most part. But they really need to stop with the Suicide Squad stuff. Like, everybody seems to do it at least once.
It works, and it would work for a TV show, though. Which is why when they first set it up, it worked well.
It would.
In Arrow's defense, they did try it first, and then were immediately scoffed at.
Yeah, was that when?
2 episodes.
Was that when they had Katana on? Like, where
she was
far away?
Yes, it was like season 2 or 3.
Yeah, I never watched it.
She was on the team.
She was not part of the team. It was the first iteration of the team was Bronze Tiger. What do you call? Not Deadshot.
No, it was Deadshot.
Yeah, Bronze Tiger, Deadshot, and there was like 2 other people.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one is when Deadshot died. It was Deadshot, Cupid. I can't remember who else. Because in the first one is when the guy tried to run away. And they blew his head. And that was back when they had Amanda Waller.
Yeah, all I remember is that both Suicide Squad times, they were like highlights of the seasons that they happened in. Absolute highlights. Like some of the best episodes. It was very similar to when Legends happened and they did that flash forward episode to feature Ollie, and it was a better episode of Arrow than Arrow was that.
I actually want to address that because do you think this season so far is building to basically looping right back around to that alternate future?
No, because I think it's going in similar tones, and it's sort of giving us an idea of how we got there. But I think they're playing more on the Argus stuff that we saw in Legends. What
if they're on the same timeline, just one is happening significantly earlier than the other one is?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what's going on.
I think what we're seeing now is before what we saw in the first Legends.
Yeah, because it seems like the world stayed identical to that, and then they set up Connor Hawk.
Yeah, but Connor Hawk is already like Green Arrow in the older version. Yeah, like in the Legends one.
But he doesn't exist anymore. He's been.
Yes, he does.
I'm pretty sure.
No, because his name isn't actually Connor Hawk. It's John Diggle Jr., but he hates his dad, so that's why he takes the nickname Connor Hawk.
Okay, wait. Yeah. That's right. That's right. He was a girl. I forgot which way it went.
Yeah, so they showed Connor Hawk before Flashpoint when, at that time, Diggle had a daughter.
That's right. Okay, I was confusing those two. But yeah, I think that this is I think this is leading up to I think it's leading up to the Zari stuff. I don't think it's leading up to that episode. I think that timeline is erased because that's the point of the end of that episode, is that that's not going to happen. That's a different timeline altogether.
Yeah, that's
Which is pretty frightening.
Yeah, that's where we get the Dark Knight Returns Arrow, where he has the one arm.
Yeah,
he gets a robot arm at the end.
Yeah, it's like Oliver's. It's like Stephen Amell's best acting too, because they just grate up his hair, and he just like.
It's especially compared to all the old people acting that they are doing currently with Roy. Who was it? It's Roy, Dinah, and Wild Dog.
Well, Roy doesn't look a day past 25, so like I don't know. He's also got a baby face.
I mean, they're doing a good job with what they have, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Dinah's the only one who's actually pulling off being older pretty well.
Oh yeah, I did not like what's his name? Wild Dog's old look. He looked terrible. And they gave like this weird like I don't know what they were doing with his hair, but it was like the worst wig.
He looks like a fucking used car salesman.
Yeah. And I still am confused how how his daughter turns like more Hispanic as she gets older.
Yeah.
She's siphoning off him, which explains why he looks the way he does in the future. He just got turned into like a fucking young Dustin Hoffman.
So she's Sarah Jessica Parker to his Matthew Broderick?
I mean, I wouldn't curse anyone with that kind of insult.
I don't think he killed anybody in Europe driving on the wrong side of the road. But anyways,
no. This I think that the Emika stuff is really what's going on here. And Diaz. Is this guy. We can't get rid of him.
I love it though. I love the idea of not killing off villains and being able to bring them back, because we see the return of China White. There were Diaz. What do you call it? What's his name's kid? We were talking about it before.
Oh,
Slade's kid.
Yeah,
and it is Joseph, which is the one that in the comics gets superpowers. And then it is I just said before, Cupid.
Yeah.
She's been brought back like a lot. She's in like 6 or 7 episodes, I think.
Yeah, I was actually worried because she's responsible for some of the worst episodes of Arrow ever.
Oh yeah. She acts at a 12 at all times.
I skipped I think Arrow, most of Arrow season 3 and all of season 4. I never saw anything of season 4.
She's
I don't remember what is season 4. Is that Damien Dark?
That's the season that Harlan uses as his his, how do I say this? Like when he's doing like the Doomsday Call, like it's like it's Arrow season 4.
Yep. That's right. Arrow season 4, the worst season of Arrow ever produced, or any of these CW shows for that matter.
I don't know. I put last season's Flash up there.
Last season's Flash is just the same thing. That's why I say.
Season 1 of Legends is pretty goddamn terrible.
Even that one, though, I mean, and it's mostly because I will defend their fucking what's his face Savage. I will defend him.
What about the episode where they turn Jax into a Hawk person?
Well, yeah, but that's 2 episodes. That's the thing, though. They redeem themselves at the end of that season. Unlike Arrow season 4 and Flash season 4.
What about last season's Supergirl, which none of us finished because
that doesn't exist though. That's not a real show.
That was us just spitballing what would have happened if that show would have continued like that. Yeah. Right. No, last season of Flash left an indelible mark on my soul.
I have 2 notches on my heart. 2 stars. One of them is Arrow season 4. The other is Flash season 4. Because
the curse.
It's real bad. I mean, there is a season 4 curse, and I guess Legends is kind of breaking it for me, because Legends season 4 is not as good as the previous 2, but it's still
it's not.
Cool. So yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, next episode after Emiko.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the big reveals in this. I don't think there's too much worth going into.
And if you have any knowledge of the what was it, a Jeff Lemire written Green Lantern or Green Arrow run, you knew what was going on with Emiko as soon as they said her name. So,
I do just want to say though, I'm glad that they didn't hold on it. Like they weren't like, let's draw out this Emiko stuff, and will she go see him or will he track her down? Like there was an episode, and it was like spending time cutting to Amel, like, should I go talk to her? Should I track her down? Should I not? And then at the end of that episode, he went and tracked her down. It was not this sort of like, will they, won't they type of thing.
It's almost like these writers have learned from Savitar.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing that CW has been good at in the past of like, we're not going to just like string you around. We're not going to string the audience. We're going to get to the points that everybody is hoping to see. If we're going to do them. And we're not going to just, we're not going to wait forever to do Flashpoint. We're going to do Flashpoint poorly, but we're not going to wait till season 15 to do it. So
here you go, fuckers.
Exactly.
The farther you get from it, the more meaningless it is, too, because there's just no reverberations felt whatsoever from that.
No, the biggest thing that happened is Diggle now has a son.
Yep.
And he can't be mad at it. He can't conceive being upset about a kid he technically never remembers.
Yeah, this is the Petty Cisco thing all over again.
Oh, God.
You can change the timeline. My brother died in an accident that's totally unrelated.
You could. Why don't you bring my brother back? Me.
Well, Cisco, why don't I bring my mother back? Oh!
Yep. Anyways, past sins. This is the.
This is the beginning. The important thing in this one to me is that this is the beginning of the.
No, this one.
Well, it's the beginning of what's his name leaving, setting him up to leave.
Yes, Emerald Archer is the found footage one that I was thinking of.
Yes, Emerald Archer is awesome, which is the episode where I was like, "Oh my god, they're doing a random Kevin Smith created character." In this episode, because that's basically what they're doing until the reveal, having him collect a mask.
Yeah,
right. Well, until the head writer Mark Guggenheim and Kevin Smith make up, I guess, because they don't like each other or something.
Oh, really?
Whatever.
I did not know that.
It's a thing that they don't get along or something. I don't know.
Really?
I don't understand it.
I know. Like, because Smith has directed 6 episodes now.
He's of the other shows, though.
Of every show but Arrow.
Of every show but Arrow, and Arrow is Guggenheim's house. So it's interesting.
Arrow and Guggenheim just thinking, don't want that fat piece of shit near the clock.
Cut to Guggenheim and
an hour away, Smith.
Yeah, but then they do.
The
yeah, but then they do an episode like this, which is basically ripping off a character that he created.
Yeah,
the whole collecting the masks thing.
I do. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about past sins though, because we do need to cover that before we get there. So I don't actually remember exactly what happened in here, except for the Oliver and Emiko stuff, like the I don't want anything to do with you. All that kind of stuff. And
this is when Oliver, the guy who his dad shot in the boat's son, becomes the electrocutioner.
Right.
They don't call him that, but that's basically what he is.
Is that what
I was wondering if it was a villain that he was similar to.
Yeah. And then this is also when Laurel has this fake stalker. We find out it was the drunk driver that killed her dad on her Earth.
Well, yes, but then we see notes which are
we see it's not
something else. Yeah.
Yes.
Which was interesting.
And this is also the episode that Diggle directed.
Oh,
really?
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
was he wearing the helmet when he directed it?
God damn it! I mean, I'll give him credit that it's not a poorly directed episode. Like it's competent, I would say.
What a great compliment!
I wouldn't say that I'm. There's nothing really memorable in this episode.
No.
The most memorable things are the final standoff in the police station, and then I am so terrible. What is Mr. Terrific's name?
Curtis.
Chris,
I always mess it up because that is not his name in the comics.
Mhm.
That they changed for whatever reason. But when he makes like an Inception drug,
Right. Well, I'm still confused as to what actually happened there.
he
But
injects a drug into what's his name, Scarface, and then it tricks him into going through this whole thing. And they find the phone number that he calls at the end for Dante.
oh yeah, okay. So that stuff was actually pretty well done, and like
No, yeah. And then that's where he's basically like, wait, you're still going to go through that? Just showed you we can do something else. It's like, yeah, but we can do both.
Mm-hmm. Well, why not both? The gift that everybody does. Yeah, yeah.
Christ.
But I did like, I did like seeing Mr. Terrific die. That was kind of cool for some reason. I don't know. It was really weird.
God, I don't remember much of anything you guys are talking about, but I also watched this episode on a day that I was completely sleep deprived, so that might have some bearing. Yeah.
I mean, makes sense. This episode is not amazing, but it's fine. It's workable. I'm really giving David Ramsey just all this credit here, aren't I?
Well, the interesting part is like it starts off with Oliver and Laurel on like a fake CNN doing an interview about being former vigilantes.
Mm-hmm. And it cuts back and forth. That was actually really good. The cross cutting and the editing there, that was really well done.
And this is also when Oliver and Emiko connect, because he basically is like, yeah, my father was not the great person he was. He straight up murdered a dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's like, I got to give you credit for admitting to that. That's a brave thing to do. Yeah.
This is almost the last time we see her in like the next couple episodes.
Well,
she shows up for like a half a second in the next one.
She diminishes certainly after this point. But I get it. You gotta have to shift the focus for a little bit. I do like her stuff
a
lot.
Hard into it, people are gonna reject it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also it's a 22 episode season, so like
well, that's the big difference of like her character to the comic is like she's a fully grown adult in this.
Mm-hmm.
In the comic, she is basically his Robin.
Yeah,
like she is a kid.
She's like 12, maybe.
She's the same
younger.
She's the same age as Damien because they're like basically the same character.
Oh, so she's like 8 then. Like she's ridiculously young. God, I've never read that in forever. Anyways,
the two of them are kind of a thing right now in Teen Titans.
Interesting.
Well, they're like I said, they're basically the same person. Both of their mothers are psychopaths who are assassin type people and train them and raise them away from their fathers.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
What's up with kids in the DC universe being birthed by fucking murderous psychopaths and then,
this is one of the like many retcons of Shadow.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of future stuff in past sins? Because I don't remember any.
I don't think so.
I thought the tail end of it there was, but
unless this was the episode with future
Mad Dog?
Mad Dog?
I think it was.
Oh wait, okay, it's all at the end because Felicity's daughter is watching the interview.
Well, no, that's in the next one. That's in Emerald Archer. Yes. Yeah. I think at the end of Past Sins is when they find when Wild Dog's daughter goes and talks to him and tries to get the codes for the Archer program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is the other thing.
That was
like,
this episode. Yeah.
In the future, everything is flipped in the Glades. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
They're the awesome part, and the rest of Star City is a shithole.
Yeah.
Well, that was a scheme on behalf of the Glades, right? That was
but it reminds me. It seems, because the one guy that Wild Dog is working with is the one that they say like killed Felicity. They kind of hint at.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's their plan. So is it basically that they are doing the plan from season 1 in this future? That they are planning to do the Malcolm Merlin plan, but to Star City instead of the Glades?
It sounds like a reversal of season 1, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's what I got from it. I was like, oh, that would be kind of cool to see that everything is flipped on its head.
Mm-hmm. And I think that this is part of why I think that this is a different timeline. I'm pretty sure that dude is Slade's other son, and that they recast him. Because they didn't really say his name, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, I feel like he's secretly Slade's son, and we're gonna find that out.
As Donnie finding that note, it says like, "I'm gonna kill all the masks."
That's right.
Yes.
And then she calls Rorschach, and then they go to Night Owl.
Yes.
Night Owl's like,
Night Owl cries a lot.
yeah, he does.
Right. He takes a Viagra and then he masturbates himself to sleep. Got real dark there, real dark.
He does it all inside that owlcopter.
Yep. All
Don't bring a black light in there.
No, you don't want to.
Sorry, random. I'm looking at like some of the trivia. Apparently, in one of these episodes, they mentioned Santa Prisca. I don't remember that happening at all.
Maybe Diaz brings it up. That sounds like something he would bring up.
I want to get this out of my system real quick. Apparently, the Bane on Gotham is like a friend of Gordon's, and that's why he's not a Spanishman.
Okay. Here's the thing. It wouldn't matter because I would still be against it. Just make him Bane's dad. It doesn't like
I am Bane Senior.
And again, it's like
that is King Snake, and like making him King Snake, it doesn't make it okay, but it's better.
Also, it's not like there's not like 50,000 UFC or WWE guys that they can get to that can speak Spanish and or Portuguese to play this character.
Son, I bequeath you my mask, bro.
And also, King Snake isn't built in the way that Bane is. Like he's got muscles, he's got fucking skills, but he's not like fucking
brick shit house.
Yeah, he's not that. He's much more, I would say dick sized, maybe.
He's lithe.
Like you have all of your mother's genes. She was a very large woman.
Exactly.
I feel like there was definitely.
I mean,
Daddy liked fatties.
I was going to say, Arlo, you definitely
kind of
rephrase that.
Santa Prisca. It's a woman who can break men's necks with one hand.
Had a lot of love to go around and hate. I don't know why his dad has no Spanish accent, but
which reminds me, and he is in Young Justice, and you know who they have voicing Bane?
who?
Danny Trejo.
Oh my god.
And he sounds exactly like how you want him to sound.
That's
so fucking stupid and so appropriate. It's not even funny.
Yeah, like I literally he started talking. I was like, Danny Trejo, this is perfect.
perfect.
So the third episode of this run is, I would say, the most interesting of the bunch.
Oh, I love this idea. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
So this is the 150th episode of the show.
Yep.
So I guess that's why they did it this way.
Yeah, and a bunch of old faces came back. We got to find out what happened to Ragman, and what happened to Ragman was he was like, "Yeah, I just stopped.
I just started volunteering. I continued to help."
And we see that. Do they give a name to this villain? Chimera. So he has Ragman's mask. He has Emiko's mask. He has the Huntress's mask.
Yeah,
and he has Wild Dog. I think those are the four that they show.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, and he's basically a serial killer, and his trophies are
masks,
and
which again,
other items.
So Chimera looked like he was sporting accessories from several other people too.
From Slade and Deadshot.
I was like, okay, Slade shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he very prominently used the Deadshot wrist gun.
Yeah. That's what was so annoying, because it's like,
in these pocket of shows, we're not only showing up to a fight where people have bows and arrows with a gun, but showing up to a fight where people have guns with bows and arrows with a wrist rocket launcher or something. Like,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what annoyed me about this. So, like, this is the whole mask collecting serial killer thing is, like I said, a ripoff of Kevin Smith's character Onomatopoeia, who in the books is an awesome character.
Yes,
I have no idea how it would translate to live action. Because, like, his name, his powers that he could... Well, he doesn't have a power. He he'll shoot, and then and then in the book it'll say like bang, and then he'll say bang, or like he'll stab you and make the sound of like the squish.
Yeah,
and it's very off-putting. But yeah, he collects the mask. He killed Roy in the books, I think, right?
I think so. I can't remember. It's been a while since I read the Kevin Smith Green Arrow stuff.
And he has an awesome look too,
because he's an elderly gay man now, apparently.
Well, we don't. The character of Roy isn't necessarily gay. The actor is.
So what's happening? Okay, here's the thing, though. Every character Colton Haynes acts as is kind of like turning gay. It seems because there's a moment where he kind of like looks at William like, "Oh, really?" like he's interested in him a little bit. Which is fine, I guess.
My theory of Curtis and Renee does have some groundwork that could actually work for it.
God damn it!
Before the dream died.
Nope. They're the one true couple.
Fucking Kelsey Grammer opening married.
Right. Okay. So yes, that
I did not realize that until I just looked it up, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
I had to announce it in the chat because I was like, wait, this didn't happen. This is not real. But they got fucking Kelsey Grammer to do a voiceover. It's pretty extraordinary.
You're an X-Men. Do something like that again?
Well, I mean,
hundreds of the time.
He does.
Well, he has like 17 children with like 6 different wives.
Exactly.
He's got bills to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of voice work too. So, I'm sure it was just a little bit of a higher rate than he normally gets. But yeah, it was Kelsey Grammer. It's cool. It was nice. It was a nice little touch,
Yeah, it kind of adds like a certain air to like the episode. As soon as it opens, you're like,
yeah. They're really committing, which is something that I enjoyed. I really liked Grant pretending that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I don't want Barry Allen lying for me ever.
Nope.
He's like, did I know Oliver Queen was the Green Arrow? I had no idea that Oliver Queen was the Green Arrow. Oliver Queen never told me he was a Green Arrow. What? Look over there.
Yeah.
Like, here's the question. Why would they even be interviewing Barry? What connection does Barry have with Oliver?
I think Oliver just said that they were friends, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Friends.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're friends with the Green Arrow, and you're basically the same age and height as the Flash?
Know who the Flash was. Barry's gonna start sweating.
Hey, you have the same chin as that guy whose mask doesn't really cover his chin anymore.
Yeah.
This is the returning characters. Thea came back for a hot minute. Quentin.
Oh man, that hurt.
Yeah. It really did.
But they sent him off on such a great way, so I can't be mad.
Like, according to the world at large, is Sarah just unkilled now?
Yes.
I assume
she was in the Earth X thing, so she's undead.
Well, yeah, she was also in Invasion, and my memory is that there were cameras at that. But I don't.
She also showed up to the hospital when he died, didn't she?
That's true. Yeah,
she did. They don't ever address her like kind of re-entry into the real world. Because I'm assuming her tenure in Legends was just like in the actual world, everyone's like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with Legends is that like whenever they're done, you would just like Jax, like you would just drop them off where they came from. Mm-hmm. But since they're not around, then they're never dropping her off until like some weird future time.
Yeah. I mean, with a lot of these guest stars, I wasn't really surprised knowing that it was 150. I was surprised as hell when Bex Taylor Klaus showed up as Sin.
Oh my god, yeah. I was like,
I thought that character was dead also.
I was like, wow, we haven't seen her since season 1 or 2?
Season 2, probably. Because she was basically Roy and
Sarah's buddy.
Yeah. She was like a little sidekick, kind of.
Oh, she was the short hair girl, right?
Yeah, she was Sin. Yeah. She was like Amnesia Sarah's buddy and then Roy's buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When they were like street rats.
She would hang out in that clock tower that Sarah was bedded up in.
The clock tower from the end of Smallville.
Yeah, exactly. She got like attacked by a Slade drone or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the last we saw her was like the invasion. Which didn't they reference that a bunch in this episode too?
They do. They reference an army, and that's Slade's army of Mirakuru soldiers that fucking tore apart the city, but nobody ever addresses it.
Yeah, this is their reference to like all the things like, oh yeah, there was like Malcolm Merlin tried to take down the city with like an earthquake machine. We were attacked by super soldiers, like an army of super soldiers, and there was like a magic dude that tried to nuke the town. Or
notice that the one that you left out is Ra's al Ghul trying to poison the entire city.
At that point,
Begins.
What was that?
I said everyone already saw Batman Begins.
Yeah. Except that we keep seeing his daughters around, which I don't mind them staying around in this universe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're kind of better. Like I think they work more as characters with Oliver in the context of this universe. For some reason, I don't know. It's better.
It's because Oliver isn't going to be trying to fuck her at some point. Like it's
well,
more
he could either of them if he wanted to. He's married to one.
Right. Is Ray still alive in this timeline?
No. Oliver killed him.
What
it was
did
him off
a dam. His followers or his daughters that no one's thrown him into a fucking Lazarus pit yet?
I don't think we've ever seen the body, but also they kind of imply that Nyssa didn't really like him. And Talia was kind of indifferent.
Talia didn't want to bring him back at all.
And Nyssa's indifferent. And Nyssa destroyed the one Lazarus pit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever go if there's any more of them.
They definitely said there's more because Talia says something about it.
Mm-hmm. Was one of the Lazarus pits poisoned?
Yeah, that's the one at Nanda Parbat. Nyssa poisoned it before Merlin could get to it.
Yes.
After they brought Thea back or Sarah back, I don't remember.
Yeah.
After one of them got brought back.
Mm-hmm. I think that's correct.
I think it was Sarah came back.
There was like a breakaway in the league that wanted to bring Raish back.
Because last time we saw Talia, she had started her own league. So whatever it was, like whichever one it was before was League of Shadows or
the
other
Assassin.
One.
I don't know.
Whichever one it
what
was,
is the
Talia starting the other one.
Why is that group always referred to as two different names?
Because it was one name in the comics, and then Batman Begins gave it the other name, and now they have two separate names, and there's two different groups.
Yeah, because I guess I assume it was Goyer. I assume he thought that Assassins was too on the nose, which sure. I don't know.
Like a movie directly influencing the source material for like an indefinite effect.
Yeah.
But have they used League of Shadows outside of the movies? Has that been a thing?
Yes, it's in the comics now that they're two different things.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
and technically, I kind of like League of Shadows as a name better because they do more. They don't just assassinate people. They're not like a mercenary group.
Yeah, yes. I mean, so this off the top of my head, I assume that name sounds better in Arabic. For one, probably a lot better in Arabic. What happens a lot of the time when you translate a name that was written in another language, it sounds too, to the point.
Assassins would sound a little silly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the whole reason. Like the name Ra's al Ghul.
Assassins.
Yeah, the name Ra's al Ghul exists because I can't remember the editor's name at DC at the time. There was like, head of the demon translates to Ra's al Ghul in Arabic. That's the name of our guy. Go create him. I think it was Neil Adams. It's like, go create him, Neil Adams and Danny O'Neill. Make that guy exist.
Right.
Huh. Never realized that.
Yeah.
So this episode kind of starts out as a faux documentary thing, which it kind of like it starts to like kind of dissipate as the episode gets deeper.
Yeah. Kind of way to stuff that isn't documentary occasionally. And it's actually a little jarring, I feel, when it does that.
The camera work stuff sometimes. It reminded me of like, this is a way for them to get away with doing what Marvel Netflix was doing with Daredevil. That kind of style of camera work.
To an extent.
There's also a few shots like the supposed found footage stuff where like people are being hit and there's no sound effects for that, but there are other sound effects.
Well, that I think it worked because it actually helped them save a little bit on budget because not every fight scene needed to be the most ridiculously choreographed thing on earth. Like when it was the footage for the documentary that they were filming, like you didn't see as many close-ups, so it didn't need to
flail.
Exactly. Exactly.
Which is what some of those look like, but it's fine. This, I believe, has some future stuff. I just don't remember what it was.
Well,
yes, at the end, the Felicity's daughter is watching it.
We're also forgetting that this was the triumphant return of our ancient old god, William.
Yes.
Oh God, yes.
Come for his final revenge.
Exactly. He came to sup upon the anger of others.
Vampire. I think that's what it is.
He's a what type of vampire?
An energy vampire.
Yeah, no, he totally feeds off emotional energy. Yeah.
Just like that dude from the new What We Do in the Shadows TV show. I either bore you to death or I enrage you.
Yeah, I think it's the most viable option for what William is because there's no way he's a human child. There's no way.
Absolutely not.
Corner of the room, just like to herself, she's like, William hasn't aged in 5 years, and like William looks over and fire starts coming out of his eyes.
His eyes just turn all black. Yeah.
So he's Trigon.
He's the host of Trigon.
Which it is funny in Titans, the guy that is the host of Trigon, or at least the form he chooses, is the guy from Castle. He is one of the cops. So one of the cops is on This Is Us, and the other one is now on Titans as the host of Trigon. I've never seen him in anything else.
Man, for some reason, every time you guys are referring to Trigon from DC, my head goes right to Vash the Stampede. Trigon! An anime I haven't heard anyone talk about in 10 years.
I have 2 of the figures behind me sitting on my bookshelf.
I just remember there was a guy who carried around a gigantic fucking crucifix that was a gun.
Oh, that's one of the toys I have. I can take a picture and send it to you.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's a hardtimes.net article titled Fully Costume Obama Pitches Netflix Exec on Blade Reboot, which just...
I want Barack Obama as Blade right now.
Yes.
There's vampires.
And vampires exist.
Here to kill you.
I seem to have come to your blood rave a little bit late.
Put the music down. I can't focus.
Thought I'd try fire this time.
He's amazed at his own shit. He's like, well, gee, golly wilkers, that was cool.
God damn. I want this now. Give it to me.
Got the kids in here. I want to show them something.
Yeah.
Hey, Michelle. Look at my sword collection.
Oh, you knew? That's gone now. I'm the only person who knows Blade by heart, so.
Fucking Michelle's Whistler.
Yes.
I'm the Daywalker now, Michelle.
I would just love to see him like act against Dominic Purcell.
Or no, is Whistler Joe Biden actually?
Oh God,
yes.
Oh my God, just awkwardly touching random women on the shoulder.
I started this operation, you shit. Yeah, okay. Anyways,
Daywalker. She's like, honey, sure. Sure you are. Yep. Anything you want to be, sweetie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry for that tangent, but I had to share that. God.
Obama and Blade.
Barack Obama Daywalker is the name of the episode.
Oh my God. My face hurts.
So yeah, there was a little bit of future stuff at the very end. When was it established that girl with the blonde hair is Felicity's daughter?
The next episode.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yes.
which we
Okay.
called a while back.
The first time she
Okay.
showed up,
Yeah,
her
'cause
blonde hair.
Showed up.
I
Yeah.
fell asleep during the last 15 minutes.
It's
so
the
I totally
very,
missed
very end of it where they're just
of course.
like, you're not going to do it because I'm Felicity's daughter. Like, or she's like, I'm Mia Smoke, and you're my brother. Blah blah blah. This is right after he goes, but I'm not into you because I'm gay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, so I barely missed it then because she says something to him. He's like, "I'm gay," and then they all start
they
fighting.
have they have a big fight, and then at the end of the fight, he pulls a gun.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's like, "You're not going to shoot me, and why won't I?" Yeah.
So
Good
all
stuff.
of our kids suck.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Felicity's daughter. Maybe she's not an actress. I'm going to click on her and find out she's been acting for like 10 years or something.
Well,
Well, she's only like 27 years old or something.
Yeah.
with this fourth of the episodes we're covering, like
Acting since 2007. God damn it.
Jesus Christ.
She has no excuse.
Connor, I have to give you credit. Like during the prison episodes, you pointed out that the Weasley little guy was going to come back later, and I think we are all kind of like, maybe.
Oh
maybe
man,
he will.
Setting stuff up. Certainly.
she's in the Maze Runner series of movies.
Not this. Not what we got.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
Yeah. She's also in the Shadowhunters. Anyways. Yeah. I did not think it would come back this way or this hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we get to they stop like dick teasing us with how future Dinah has a throat cut,
Mm-hmm.
which that
That-
was pretty goddamn brutal.
Yeah, it was.
There was a lot of blood.
It
Yeah.
was.
When these shows suddenly get violent, they get really violent.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. They really went for it. They didn't cut away. Actually, really, or
No, they stayed on her like bleeding and like glugging out of her throat.
Mm-hmm. Which is that's a big thing. Although I think the show's on at 9, and that's probably why. I know Supernatural used to do it all the time. They got away with it because demons. They can make the throat glow and all that. And
The other thing I wanted to point out was when was it Renee and Curtis went off together and were searching?
Yes,
Yeah.
in the house. Yes.
Yeah, in the house. All right. So at the one point where Renee is, mesmerized by the music box for whatever reason, when Curtis is like, "Hey, wait, what's that?" I don't know. I can only speak from what I would do if I was an escaped prisoner, but I probably wouldn't hang up my fucking prisoner's outfit on a hanger in an armoire. Like, that's just me.
Sake.
But your daddy didn't give you medicine.
Oh, for fuck's sake. like they could have done a million other things. Like, hey, what was that thing balled up on the floor there or whatever? And like, find that. Okay, cool. That's a lot more believable.
Well, they turned him into like a not quite Scarecrow, not quite Zaz.
Yeah.
Because he drugged people and would use a knife to kill them.
Yeah.
well, he's very Golden State Killer. Actually, if you like.
Oh,
yeah.
very much.
Of him. Yeah, he's fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit. But it was good to see him being used again because he had a lot of potential to be a shitty, creepy guy, and hey, ended up being a shitty, creepy guy.
Yeah.
So it worked out well.
And I like the villains that they're doing. These like really shitty, like mentally disturbed people who are just like going through some shit. And yeah, that's a nice pace from like, I'm gonna turn everybody dizzy or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like Count Vertigo. Yes, that's the extent of his plans to make everyone dizzy. Yeah,
Exactly.
I did not know this. Apparently,
Yet?
apparently the Oliver Chili thing is like from the comics.
It is.
Oh,
I did not
shit.
know
Yes,
that.
and the link I just shared you is the recipe.
that's
Really?
awesome.
That's fantastic. That's great.
And I did not know. So I guess the biggest part of this episode is the ending, but like Curtis is officially gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at it. Like he announced that he is no longer appearing on the show.
Oh.
Like forever or just
I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can look something up, but it says like Echo Kellum makes his final appearance as a series regular renouncing his departure.
Okay, that's fine. I was going to say, again, as I think we said on a previous episode, he doesn't have the right to say that he'll never be on again. Yeah. He's...
Hello?
Hello?
Everybody cut out on my side for a second there.
Yeah.
Silence. Erik? Oh,
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
No, I'm here.
I thought somebody
sorry.
died. I was hearing weird noises.
No, I had to mute my mic for a second because the dogs were barking. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Anyways. Echo Helm's too young to just retire. He hasn't he hasn't reached Captain Cold levels yet, but that's fine if he wants to leave for a while. He'll be back.
Impossible standards like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's the perfect guy to either go on Flash or go on another show.
Right.
Like the tech guy.
Who was it that said that we were talking about Cisco leaving, and someone was like, hey, just bring Curtis over.
Yeah, he fits.
Well, so does this mean Curtis won't be in any more episodes?
For the season, yes.
Oh, damn it. I was hoping he and Renee could at least tenderly embrace each other before he left.
Well, I'm seeing that there are episodes that he's credited in, so...
Guess he's just leaving as a series regular. He said that he has filmed his last scene.
So that means that they've probably filmed his scenes already so that he can go do other stuff. Which
he's a Force ghost now.
Right, exactly. He turns into a pile of dust after defeating Kylo Ren. Obviously. Because he's credited all through the end of this season. I think. Yeah.
This is a really hard episode. The pace of the show changes drastically.
Yeah. It does.
And the tone. And I like, for some reason, Arrow doing horror is really interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that was.
Yeah. Go ahead. Whoever was.
Go ahead, Lou.
I was gonna say, I liked how they did everything. I liked the turn. I liked the return of this character, and I'm so happy that goddamn Kid William is gone.
Ooh,
Yes.
Okay. We can talk more about how much a piece of shit William is now.
Before we get there, I was staring at the grandma. I was like, what do I know this one from? She is like somebody that is like a constant guest star on Riverdale. She plays one of the nuns.
Of course she is.
Yes.
So William comes back from fucking boarding school, and walks in and is just like, "Hi, Mom. Fuck you."
Which I'm sorry, it's kind of weird that he calls Felicity Mom.
It is
they've only known each other for a year and a half.
Right. I guess
everything in William time is different.
Right. That's exactly. William time is both longer and shorter at the same.
William has 1,000 lifetimes by the time he's met.
Well, yeah, I mean, to mere mortals, William time is 1,000 years, but to William, it's a day.
Before we started recording, future William is 40 years old.
Oh, what was that? I missed that from 3 different people talking at once. Sorry.
William sitting there, he's like, "I have beheld the births and deaths of all time."
I was there.
You think
I
of
would say that William visited your village, but for me it was only Tuesday.
For me, it was a boarding school.
Well, yeah, and he makes his grandparent tulpas appear so he can feed off more negative energy.
Exactly.
He has money with his face printed on it.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of little details around him that I liked, even though I really soured on the actor. Like, Felicity, I found a very convincing fake website.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
I just, the actor himself, just his delivery is insufferable.
Oh, I think this is the worst I've seen him so far. Especially whining. I'm like, you sound like this. The noises coming from your mouth make me want to chop you in the throat.
Which is these are the best takes.
Yeah, I will give him credit that he does. I believe that he's the same character as older William, which is pretty much, yeah.
That says more to the
agree
older
with that.
adult actor.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But I did love, my favorite scene was when like Oliver like loses his shit like on him.
I
fucking love that.
Yeah, I thought Oliver was going to kill him.
And felt
I didn't feel like chokes.
everything they said to me since you returned. I'm like, oh, Oliver's going fucking full dad mode.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was beyond dad mode. Like that was I'm, as Arlen just said, I'm going to choke slam you through a table.
Yeah,
Like,
which is funny because it starts off with he's like being like very passive, and Felicity's like, no, he can have the pancakes you made him until he tells you what's up.
Well, it's a good thing for the Lords of Hell that William is a member of, because if he would have eaten the pancakes, it would have been over, which is a Hellboy reference. Yeah.
But yeah, also okay, we do need to address this. Oliver being really good at cooking. That's a really interesting detail.
Well, he spent a lot of time on the island and across the world. He's a master of many different cuisines.
I've had to turn things you would never consider food into food. This stuff is no food to me.
But he also lived in like China for a year, and he lived in Russia. Right. So he's been around the world, and he knows all sorts of different stuff.
He knows how not to make lettuce and water taste bad. So that's the thing.
The only one from best cook this side of the Western Hemisphere.
Exactly. And if you want to know, the secret is vodka. You just add.
It's copious amounts.
So much.
I just like the idea that Oliver makes everything good by shooting it with an arrow. Wait, it's not done yet. There, it's done.
He turns the oven on with an arrow.
Like a fucking kitchen gun?
Yes.
He has a spatula arrow?
Yes. Well, no, like it's, before everybody eats the chili, you just see like arrows sticking out of each bowl. And it's like, okay, Oliver.
At the end, there's like peppers or fucking...
I'm sure that is something they did like in the 60s or 70s with all his trick arrows.
Yeah. Yeah, back when he was the Batman analog, essentially.
Oh, that actually reminds me. There was another character that is long forgotten that we saw a glimpse of in that the episode before this.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of you guys catch?
No.
Wildcat?
Oh,
he's in the clips from the Vigilantes. And he's really, really shitty costume.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Miss that.
Yeah, I can't remember what season he was from. Was it like season 3 or 4?
3, because that's the season when Laurel is like, I'm gonna put on a leather suit and I'm gonna learn how to box, and then I'm gonna be a superhero. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Yeah, I mean he was like a vigilante, and what was his sidekick's name?
Oh, I can't remember.
That was the whole.
Yeah, there was a plot where basically he was a hero while Oliver was on the island, kind of like Wildcat in the actual comics, because he's from a previous generation of vigilantes.
Oh, and it's the dude from Jessica Jones season 2.
Yes, I do think that it is
the guy who was the neighbor with the kid.
Yeah, that's right.
He played him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he's only in like a handful of episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really good though.
Yeah.
He's really good actually.
Yeah, he was definitely. I'm looking it up. Yeah, he was season 3. He was in 6 episodes, and then it says like season 7.
Yeah, he shows up when Brick tries to take over Starcity, I think, and he helps fucking beat Brick to a pulp before he gets into prison. Yeah,
I forgot Vinnie Jones is Brick in this world. Is he still alive? I don't remember.
We saw him in the prison.
Yeah.
But did he die in the prison?
Stanley stabs him as Brick finds the escape route.
Yes.
And then Stanley approaches him and stabs him and leaves him there.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah.
So Brick, maybe. Maybe he's alive. Maybe.
It depends on how.
I'm wondering what becomes of Stanley now that this whole thing kind of crescendoed in one episode.
Yeah, what ended up happening with him? Because, like I said, I fell asleep during the last 15 minutes.
What's his name? The kid passes like the bottle to Oliver, and Oliver cracks it over his head and knocks him out. But he does mention that he spent time in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Interesting.
His brother wanted to send him there for killing his parents.
No, though I think he said he did get sent there after he killed his brother.
I don't remember, but I do remember
He mentions Arkham Asylum at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, and he almost would have gotten away with his parents, kind of like
if it wasn't for his meddling older brother.
God damn it, you beat me to it.
Father.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I have anything else to say on these other than they're good. They're good.
Yeah.
And Felicity is alive, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the very end was when they both say, "Oh, I'm her daughter," and Felicity gets the call from her doctor that we never saw her visit, and she's rubbing her belly that is super flat because it is.
Wait, that happened.
Yeah, she gets the call from her doctor, and she's like rubbing her belly and finds out that she's pregnant.
I don't remember this at all, but okay.
Yes.
When
the grandparents come to take William away,
What was that?
and then
Oh, okay.
I did not hear what Connor said.
Oh, she gets the call from the doctor, and she says, "I'm what?" with a question, and then it cuts to
The future. But she's like rubbing her belly, like the pregnant belly rub thing.
Okay, I must have like zoned out when that happened.
Yeah.
Because
It's when her and Oliver are saying goodbye to William, and the grandparents are there, and then she gets a phone call and like walks like 5 steps away, and it's her doctor. Yeah, and then it cuts to you're not going to do anything because I don't remember, Mia Smoke, and I'm your sister.
I think it would be hilarious if they were like, we found new legs for you, new real legs, and then
No, she's got that robot chip that we'll never talk about again because that's from the season that we don't discuss.
And then after picked up with the grandparents, Oliver and Felicity bless the house to prevent his return.
Yep, they smudge it. Yeah, they wash away the blood that was used as ritualistic marks in William's room.
Yeah.
I thought you were going a completely different way, Connor. I thought you were doing like a Marie Kondo thing.
Bring you joy. Okay.
No, they bless the house.
Yeah.
William brings no one joy.
No.
Oh God.
But that's so far 7 so far. I will also second the idea that Arrow has been consistently good for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's once they figured out, we can't have things too big for a guy with a bow and arrow to face.
Right.
Oh, I also like that they got like the fact that
it's stop nuclear missiles. That's
that, and the fact that they don't have to worry about secret identities anymore is kind of refreshing. And I'm Oliver Queen. So there's that. I like it. Arrow's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, Arrow's consistently good.
A wrap.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, going into news at this point, it just
Oh, I wither away.
Yeah.
all I want to say is that Dune looks like the greatest movie to ever come out in the next 5-10 years.
It's got every awesome actor in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the actors who have ever lived in it. I'm sure it'll be an amazing film. It'll be 7 hours long.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be 2 parts, and I predicting.
As of now, it's going to be 3, I bet.
And it's announced right now, breaking news, they've cast Marlon Brando.
They dug him up.
But which one? Which Marlon Brando?
Yeah, good point. I think what's going to happen to this movie, though, is it's going to be like Blade Runner 2049. It's going to get critical reviews that are amazing, and no one's going to go see it.
I don't know. I feel like they have enough like current guys.
It's still Dune, though. That's a hard sell for most audiences now.
Dune? I thought I was going to see a Dune movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Aquaman is like such a big pull for like the normal people now that he'll bring people in. Although I have seen him do interviews, and he is a hard interview.
Really?
Oh,
he's very quiet.
Yeah, he's very quiet and very like subdued.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of flies against the whole whiskey drinking, axe throwing guy that we've all come to know.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of like that, but like when you meet him in real life, he's kind of like De Niro, where it's like,
that's actually really good. Where he's like, he can do a script, but like him as a person is just very low key.
Mm-hmm.
He saves it all for when
And he's also like in his 40s, which blew my mind.
What?
Yes. He was on Stargate Atlantis.
That's where I first learned about him on Stargate Atlantis. I was like, this guy's going somewhere. Because every time I'd be in a scene, the entire show would light up. It would become a completely different show.
I don't know if I'm more or less hurt by this than I was about the Chadwick Boseman thing.
Like
he's also married to what's her name from the Cosby Show.
The one who Lisa Bonet.
Yeah, Lisa Bonet. They have like 2 or 3 kids together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see Jason Momoa being closer to 40 than I can see Chadwick Boseman being 40. Like that just
Right.
God damn it! What have I done with my life?
But anyway, enough lamenting our meager existences. So Movie Dumpster's back. Lawnmower Man is out today. We just recorded Dragon Ball Evolution, and just to prep everyone for that, we fucking hated that movie so goddamn much.
I'm so shocked.
It barely qualifies as a movie, and I didn't know the extent of the trampling of the source material that went on that film. And at some points, I was seething with rage.
Yep.
As a Dragon Ball fan, I will never, ever let my eyes touch that.
It's fucking bad.
You say that now, Lou, but when we review it for the show with all of us here.
Oh, God.
I mean, here's the funny thing, because Eric, you've mentioned before, you're kind of just have surface level knowledge of it.
Yeah.
That was Joe. Joe knows Goku, Vegeta, Frieza. And he went into this and he was like, I'm not judging this as an adaptation. I'm judging this as a movie. And as a movie, it's fucking terrible.
Oh, it's
Well,
awful.
I mean, you can tell that just by looking at it.
Oh, man.
So, like, from point A to point B, you're like, how did someone look at that and go, that's fit for release?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would only watch it in order to compare it to what we just reviewed on Smovo Chronicles, which is that failed Woman to Woman pilot, which is fucking garbage with an insane cast. It has Elizabeth Hurley and oh my god, Princess Bride. I'm terrible with names tonight.
Robin Wright.
Yeah. Glory.
No, the guy.
Terry Elways.
Yeah.
Terry Elways, yes. And it is
Interesting.
goddamn trash garbage.
I don't know what we're doing next, but Lawnmower Man's out. Dragon Ball Evolution will be out next week. Pretty sure one of my next picks is going to be Blair Witch 2, so get ready for that one, everybody.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's my plugs.
Los Haro podcast every single Friday. Listen to our newest episode in which we boldly predict what will win and what we want to win in the upcoming Oscars award ceremony that continues to change every 72 hours in terms of what's actually going to happen during them. So
I'm not giving awards to anybody.
Yeah.
We're keeping them.
Right. We're not going to give out any. It's just going to be an hour of these people in a swimming pool, and that's what ABC would like, at least. So yeah, listen to that. Hunter's not here, so I will plug Monster Mash podcast every single month. Once a month, we discuss monsters and the movies that those monsters are in, as deeply as we and our guest decide to go. So look forward to that. We're still waiting for Lou and Eric here to actually do an episode. So maybe we need to.
I've done 2 that are like not going to be aired.
Well, no, we're going to add the Dracula one on.
Okay.
We're like,
my other choice of movie was just like such a boring movie.
Well, the monsters particularly were boring.
The only thing entertaining is Matthew McConaughey.
Yep.
Oh, Rain of Fire. Okay.
Yeah. And Los Horror Podcast Network. Go listen to all the shows there. So that's my stuff. Yeah.
I'm Erik Fedorchak. You can find me on Instagram at Erik_Fedor. There's pictures of dogs and cats and food and comics. I'm floating around the Phantom Zone on a pretty regular basis. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I got.
All right. And I have 75 podcasts that I do with Alan. Yeah, so the first one will be on here on the Phantom Zone. Every Tuesday, we are reviewing Smallville Chronicles. We just recorded our first episode for season 3. That'll be coming out this week. And then every Thursday, we do And Now Comics, where we talk about the comics that we're reading, comic news, that kind of garbage, which we try to keep from being a bashing of Heroes in Crisis every week, but it's very hard. Because now there's a Time comic book that's coming out every week. And then also every Thursday, part of Los Horror Podcast Empire, we have Legion of Toon that me, Alan, sometimes Gary, sometimes John do. And this recent week we had the Green Lantern Emerald Knights, which is the Green Lantern animated movie that has like a bunch of small stories and features a character that DC Comics was the one to talk about because she's a 12-year-old girl that aged up into an adulthood and dated Hal Jordan.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird.
I cannot remember her name. She's a blonde alien.
Did
Okay,
Victor
I know who you're
Salvo
talking
write
about.
that comic book?
Oh my god. Yeah, this is like the last thing that character's ever been in. And she's kind of the protagonist because she's the one who they're telling all the stories to. But yeah, oh man. I wish I could remember her name. But yeah, the last time I saw her, I think was in Darkest Night. And since she hasn't been around since New 52.
Well, if she stays in obscurity long enough, then the CW will eventually put her on one of their shows.
Yep.
Yep.
On that note, goodbye, everybody.
Adios.
I wonder if they rendered Will Smith's GDs
No!
blue.
No!
Stay chunk.